Hello and welcome back to MANCINIMA. I hope you are all doing very well. So I've got a good one for you today which we'll talk about in a moment. However, we can go through the usual routine. If you can hit the like button for me please. Now that little thumbs up symbol doesn't cost you anything. All you have to do is click like. That really helps the channel out. If you could subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. If you're an existing subscriber, please don't subscribe because I'll unsubscribe you if that's making any sense. But yeah, if you are new to the channel, if you could please subscribe to the channel, that also helps us out, that'd be great. If you can hit the notification bell, that'll let you know when I've done a new video. And also, once you've seen the video, if you'd like to have a chat about it, come and have a chat with me down in the comments. We'll have a talk about it. Love to talk film with you guys. Okay, let's get on with today's film. Hello, I'm outside the Odeon in Port Solent. I'm just going to go and see Scream 6. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't got a synopsis yet, so I can't tell you what the film's about. However, I did pre-record something with some information that I found on the internet. So I'm going to throw you back to past me now. He'll let you know what the synopsis is, and then once I've seen the film, we can talk about it a bit more. So I'm just going to go in now, and it's raining a bit, so got to get dry. See you in a bit. Right, yeah, thank you, future me. Right, while he's in watching the movie, I've decided to string together for you a little bit of information that I found on the internet. The good thing about it is there is no full plot out there on the internet, so the good thing here is that there'll be no spoilers. Right, so what information do we have on Scream 6? So Scream 6 follows on obviously from the events of Scream 5 from last year, and we follow the four survivors. You've got Sam, played by Melissa Barrera. You've got Tara, played by Jenna Ortega. You've got Mindy, played by Jasmine Savoy Brown, and you've got Chad, played by Mason Gooding. Now, they've all decided to leave the horrors of Woodsboro behind them, all the murders, all the deaths, and they want to start afresh, and they've decided to move out to the relative safety of New York City. So, yeah, while they've gone out to New York City, three of them are going to college, and that's Chad, Mindy, and Tara. And Sam has decided to tag along to protect Tara, obviously after that big revelation in the last film that Sam was actually Billy Loomis's daughter. However, Tara finds this somewhat suffocating. Sam is always around her, always being overprotective, always watching out for her, and all Tara wants to do is move on with her life. She wants to forget Woodsboro, forget the murders, and she wants to go to college, live a normal teenage college life. And yeah, I think there's going to be a little bit of friction between the two sisters from what I can gather. However, things are going to get even worse because old Ghostface shows up on the scene, doesn't he, in New York City. And I think that's going to provide a very interesting backdrop to this film as opposed to previous movies which were pretty much all set in Woodsboro, apart from number 3, which I think was set in Hollywood. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Let's go and have a word with him now he's leaving the cinema and see what he thought. Okay, so first reactions coming out of Scream 6. It's a really enjoyable film, a well-worthy sequel. Lots of suspense, lots of action, lots of really gory kills. However, let's go back home and talk about it a little bit more in depth. Hello and welcome back indoors. We're out of the Odeon and we are out of our double bill screening of Scream 5 and Scream 6. Seeing Scream 5 alongside Scream 6 was a really good idea because obviously we're used to Dewey, Gale and Sidney in the previous Scream movies. They've been established over a long time, but we're not so familiar with the characters from Scream 5, these new characters, the Sam, Tara, Mindy and Chad of course. So to see Scream 5 again, to re-establish ourselves before we go into Scream 6 was a really good idea, and it was a nice setup and a nice way to see them back to back like this. And it really does show that the story does flow through nicely. The characters do flow from one movie to the next, and that is very well done. So what can I tell you about Scream 6? I'm going to tell you one little bit that I didn't tell you in the kind of the plot synopsis that we had earlier on when it was earlier me. And that is that in this movie, Melissa Barrera's character of Sam is being blamed for the murders of Richie and Amber and everybody else from Scream 5. So she's got that added baggage to carry around with us. So that's the only thing I'm going to tell you. So otherwise, what can I tell you about this movie? It's very enjoyable. Moving it to New York City was a great idea. It's got a fantastic opening sequence, one of the best opening sequences I've ever seen. Really kind of throws you off your balance. You think, oh, this isn't going the way that the previous Scream movies have gone. They've really found a fresh approach. So yeah, the opening sequence alone is absolutely amazing, and it really draws you into the film. It keeps you thinking, we're really going to be on our toes with this one. We're really not going to know where this is going to go. Setting in New York City is wonderful, although you don't get to see a lot of New York City itself. What you get to see is the city streets, the busyness, you get to see the tube. I think you see Central Park in one of the scenes, but there's none of the landmarks. You don't see Empire State, don't see the Chrysler Building, any of the famous bridges, or any of the rivers, so you don't really see those. But you do know you're in New York City, and they do spend the entire time there, unlike Jason Voorhees, as I said earlier, in Jason Takes Manhattan. Keep a very close eye on the film, because there is a kind of a jokey moment with Jason Takes Manhattan in this film, so you've got to keep a sharp eye to see it. If you know the film, you'll know where to look for it. Right, yeah, it's full of action, it's full of suspense, it's one of the most suspenseful Scream films I've ever seen. Ghostface is the most violent, most vicious, most fast-moving Ghostface that we've ever seen in a Scream movie. And it's just great. I really did come out of this movie enjoying it. Of course, this was one of the movies that I was looking forward to when I put my list up at the beginning of the year, saying, what films am I looking forward to? You know, you always do that list where you say, what are those films that are kind of on my to-see list? And when Scream 6 came up, I was hoping against hope that I was not going to be disappointed. And I was not disappointed in this movie. I really enjoyed it. The characters are great. There's some amazing sequences. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, but the sequences to look out for are the scenes in Gail's apartment, the scene on the tube, on the underground, and the scene that takes place, and you've seen it in the trailer, on a ladder between two buildings. Those are just three of the sequences that are absolutely amazing in this film. They're very, very well done, very, very suspenseful. The setting is great. There's some callbacks to the earlier Scream movies. Obviously, we've got Hayden Panettiere back as Kirby Reed, which is fantastic. She was, of course, in Scream 4. Yeah, and it kind of leaves things open for a Scream 7. It doesn't exactly leave it wide open for a Scream 7. It's not like it's begging a sequel. But were there to be a Scream 7, they've certainly left routes and places that you can go with it. Do I recommend you see Scream 6 at the cinema? Absolutely, yes, go and see Scream 6 at the cinema. It's an incredibly good horror movie, one of the best slasher movies I've seen. And I must say that overall, if I look at all the horror franchises that have been over the years, Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I could name many. Scream absolutely is my favourite horror franchise at the moment. It's the one, I think, if I sat and watched them all back to back, there's a few tiny hiccups, but I think it's one of the better horror franchises for consistency's sake. It doesn't hop around on timelines, so it's not like Halloween where you have like a few timelines and all of a sudden you think, oh, we've got a Duff film, let's reset this. It's kept consistent over the course of its movies, over the course of its 6 movies. And I do think if we can keep these directors, that will continue. How much further do we want the Scream franchise to go? Honestly, I don't know, but it would be nice that it didn't outstay its welcome. I think hopefully there'll be a director who will come along and say, right, this is the time to wind things up and call this to an end now. But for the moment, I think it's going great guns. I think Scream, Ghostface, and all the characters that are in it are good to go for another few films yet. And I look forward to seeing what they do next. Hopefully it won't be too long. The rumour is that Scream 7 will start shooting this year for a release roughly the same time next year. So who knows, maybe in a year's time we'll be sat in our cinemas watching Ghostface and Friends once again. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, you know what to do. The little bit's going to come up in the bit at the end where it's going to tell you what to do, you know, like and subscribe and all that business. I'll just tell you here for a little bit as well. But yeah, sorry this has been a bit of a jumping around all over the place kind of video with past me and me at the cinema and me right here telling you what I thought about the film. Just a little bit different for a change, but I wanted to get this video out to you as soon as possible. However, thank you once again for watching. Go and see Scream 6 at the cinema. I hope you really enjoy it. If you're a big horror fan, I really hope you'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch it. If you could do the usual for me, please. If you could hit the like button. There's a little thumbs up down there somewhere. If you could just hit that, it doesn't cost you anything. It just helps my video out, helps it get out into the world a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't cost you anything. If you could do that, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, if you could subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. Again, it just spreads the word, helps people see my videos a little bit more. Also, if you can hit the notification bell, you'll know when I've done another one of these videos. It will come back in your kind of notifications. You'll say, hey, he's done another film review, or he's done another dinosaur video, or something like that. And finally, come and have a chat with me down in the comments. I love to talk films, I love to talk dinosaurs, love to talk monsters and ghosts and all that kind of thing. Anything you like, anything that's relating to my channel, collectibles or anything like that, come and have a chat with me down in the comments. It'll be lovely to hear from you, and I'll have a chat back with you. Thank you once again for watching this video, and I'll see you all soon.